I read Yellow Star by Jennifer Roy. Sylvia Rozens was born on January 20th, 1935 in Lodz, Poland. Sylvia had one sibling, an older sister named Dora. Sylvia's father's name was Isaac, and he worked as a salesman. Sylvia's mother's name was Hea, and she cared for Dora and herself. Just 7 days after Germany attacked Poland, Lodz was under Nazi control, which occurred on September 8th, 1939. In February 1940, when Sylvia was 5 years old, the Nazis invaded their town and forced all of the Jews into a large ghetto. This ghetto was known as the Lodz Ghetto. In the ghetto, Sylvia's father found a job as a delivery man. He delivered flour around the ghetto to different bakeries. The ghetto was surrounded by a barbed wire fence. Money was scarce, as Sylvia's parents had to sell all of her belongings, even her beloved doll. Life in the ghetto was rough. Sylvia tells many cruel stories throughout the book. One boy got shot by a guard who didn't like the way the boy looked at him. One man was dragged off from his 2 children and shot for no good reason. These stories go on and on. Food in the ghetto was rationed. Every day, each person got a bowl of barley bean soup, a slice of black bread, and a small vegetable. Sylvia described the food as horrible. Sylvia made 2 good friends in the ghetto, Itka and Hava. She enjoyed playing games with them to pass time. Unfortunately, Itka went on a deportation train, and one day, Hava was nowhere to be seen. The loss of her 2 new best friends deeply hurt Sylvia. In January 1942, the Germans started loading trains, claiming the trains were going to a place where the ghetto's residents could find a better job. Little did the Jews know the trains were going to the Chelmno Killing Center. In September 1942, the Germans went street by street, taking children from their parents and taking them away to the Chelmno Killing Center. Sylvia, guided by her father, had to find hiding spots to live and sleep for weeks to evade the Nazis, including a ditch in the graveyard, behind piles of bricks, etc. In August 1944, the Nazis began to liquidate the ghetto, telling all of the remaining Jews to report to the train station. A small group of adults were selected to stay back and help clean up the ghetto, which included Sylvia's parents and her older sister Dora. Sylvia snuck into this group amid the chaos of one man arguing with the SS officers. The Nazis did not know any children were in this group, but there were 12. Sylvia and 11 other children were snuck into a hidden cellar. Sylvia's parents and Dora regularly visited Sylvia once per day, telling her stories and entertaining her. The 12 children stayed in the hidden cellar the entire winter of 1944 into the spring of 1945, until they were discovered by the Nazi officers. The officers considered shooting the children, but decided to let them stay with their family in the apartments. One day, the Nazis brought in dozens of extra SS officers into the ghetto and planned to take all the Jews from their apartments that night and bring them into the cemetery to kill them all. Luckily, Sylvia's father overheard the Nazis talking about this plan. Sylvia's father guided all 800 Jews to the flour storage house where he used to deliver flour to, where they would sleep for a few nights. A few nights later, Sylvia woke up to loud noises. She looked out the window of the building and saw the Nazis leaving the ghetto on their red motorcycles. She woke up all the Jews, telling them the Nazis are leaving. They went outside and saw planes above them bombing the ghetto. They ran out of the ghetto, where they were found by the Soviet army and let free. Only 800 of the 270,000 who had lived in the Lodz ghetto had survived the entire war. Sylvia moved to Paris and lived there for her teenage years before she moved to the United States. She still lives in the United States and occasionally volunteers at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum.